we will get started. What is it? July the 29th. So we're almost.
It's June, but it's okay.
June 29th. I know. We haven't finished July yet. I'm trying to get this year moved on, get us producing, get us moving. All these closings that we have in the pipeline, get them all closed. What's up, boys?
Thanks. Listening to you intently.
Oh, yeah. So I'm a little ahead of myself, but yeah, it's June 29th. I was thinking it was next month with all these deals getting closed out and everybody getting paid and making some good cheddar. But then that's kind of the main topic for today, right? This market right now has just been crazy. I know a lot of our agents just keep submitting offers, and we just keep seeming to get beat out, and these listings are going faster than we've ever seen them, right? We're having those are my guys. A lot of people are selling, and a lot of people are buying, and right now our market is just crazy. There's a lot of people scared to sell, but then the people that are selling, they're getting multiple offers before we can even get in the door. And that's kind of problemsome. I mean, it's a good problem to have, right? I mean, our sellers are getting what they want, but our buyers, we're having to take a little bit longer with our buyers. And that's kind of the great thing about listings, and why we, in a sense, we want to focus on trying to acquire listings and get listings, because you can work maybe 8 to 10 listings while you can only work maybe 3 to 5 buyers, right? Your buyers take up a lot more of your time. You have to go show them, you have to go here and go there and schedule things, whereas listings, they can't go nowhere, right? They show themselves, the people schedule them, and you can manage those a little bit better than your buyers, right? So if we can try and focus our attention on obtaining sellers, they're going to end up being buyers anyway. So let's get them first, get their house sold, and then let's try and move them forward. But you can always do more listings than they are buyers, which is a decent rule of thumb, right? Just kind of makes sense. But overall, I mean, San Antonio's market is super, super healthy. It's kind of ridiculous how bad it is. Our investors are inching to get any deal they can. Our regular retail agents are trying to find houses for their clients that are livable and not at a horrible price. But right now in San Antonio, things keep growing. The city has not slowed down even through this whole pandemic. Real estate sales have honestly increased over last year, and our inventory is just so low, with the new construction not even being able to catch up. So it's a interesting time to be in, and it's a good time to be in. And then hopefully soon, or not hopefully soon, unfortunately very soon, I'm foreseeing a lot of foreclosures happening as well. So people with the investment side, they're seeing it as a win, but we're seeing a lot of issues with people not being able to pay their mortgages, right? So hopefully there's some good news in store for them, whether it's relief programs or something. But kind of the state of where we're in, we really don't know. So for the investment side, that's good news. They get to go buy houses at foreclosure, but on the retail side, those will then go to someone else, and then we won't see them for at least 3 or 4 months until they get renovated, and then back on market, right? So hopefully that doesn't happen too much. If we can get those people before they go into foreclosure, maybe try and get them to sell their house, get them the cash they need in their pocket today, and then move somewhere else to either rent or something, avoiding foreclosures. So when having listing appointments, talk about those things and say, hey, I'm your agent. I'm here for you. What is your goal at the end of this sale, right? Do we need to sell? Do we not need to sell? How are you? Blah, blah, blah. And just go from there. But the main thing is getting business right now. I mean, the market is crazy. So the more business we can get, the faster we can, obtain our goals and make our lives a little bit easier. So really for today, we're going to kind of go over some lead generation tips, especially during COVID, since, we can't really have parties, or we can't go out to mixers or hold a lot of open houses. This kind of just putting strains on your lead capture and seeing people face to face. So this is kind of what we're thinking would be some good tools and tips for you guys moving forward, trying to obtain a little bit more business in your business. So if I miss anything, or if you guys have any that have worked for you or a good idea that you like, please share here in just a sec. So first and foremost, utilizing your social media, right? That is, everybody talks about it, but it is so important, right? Keeping your face, your name, and what you do in front of people's faces constantly, right? Just sending reminder posts. Hey, everybody, I'm a licensed real estate agent in the state of Texas. Feel free to call me at any time for help, right? Make it clean, make it simple. Don't drag on about things that you don't need to. Just let them know what you do and how you do it, and then that's it. Just a quick reminder. They're gonna be like, oh, Leslie's a realtor, and I was just thinking about buying a house or selling a house, or Anna or Sherry, right? Just pop it out there. Hey, friends and family, just a reminder to let y'all know. I'd hate for somebody to, find out we buy a house and then you see it on their feed and like, whoa, you bought a house? Like, I just saw you 3 days ago and we didn't even talk about anything, or I saw you a month ago and you didn't even tell me you were looking, right? Just keep that in everybody's forefront. Just, hey, I am a realtor. This is what I do. If you go to showings or go on anything, take a picture of the house, right? And be like, and make that your profile. Hey, showing houses today, or doing something today, just to really that shows the business that you're in, right? Show people what you're doing and try and make some fun content. But if you're not really creative, or you don't think you're creative, just post anything, right? Just post a house. Hey, I'm showing this today. Ooh, doing showings today with my clients. Whatever. Just something that tells people, wow, you're a realtor.
Yeah, and you might seem like you're being annoying, like you're posting a lot about real estate, or my friends aren't friends with me because they want to see what I'm doing. But the more you're in your feed about you doing real estate, the more, like, even though they may not like comment on it or like it, it'll be in the back of their head. So when the time does come for them to buy or sell down the road, they'll be like, oh yeah, like Leslie's a realtor. I've seen her post. So it does stay in their mind the more you do it.
Yeah. So always utilize it, whatever you can. Download your Nextdoor apps. I know there's a lot of apps. Your Ring, all those community-based apps. Put yourself in there. Hey, I'm new to the neighborhood, even if you're not new to the neighborhood or whatever, right? Hey, this is me. This is my contact info. I buy and sell real estate. Blah blah blah. Definitely works, and that's going to come and bring us into one of the next topics a little bit later down. So social media, use it any way you can. LinkedIn's more business, but your Facebook, your Instagrams, your Twitters if you have one, and then all your local community Nextdoor apps, as well as groups and anything you can.
I saw a statistic the other day. I don't remember what the numbers were, but just because of COVID and everything happening, like social media usage is at an all-time high. Just because people aren't going out and actually
interacting with people.
with
All
each
they're
other,
doing, they're scrolling, right? All you sit at home. All the people that unfortunately don't have a job, they just sit on the couch all day and just scroll through their phone. So let your content, let your brand be a part of their everyday feed, right? And their consumption. Secondly, so next topic is pick up the phone. Just if you don't reach them by your social media, just pick up the phone. Anybody you haven't talked to in a month or a couple weeks, just call them, not necessarily to tell them you're in real estate, but just call them to have a conversation. Everybody right now that they're cooped up in their homes, they want to talk to people. It doesn't matter what about, right? Eventually, real estate's going to come up in the conversation. Hey, how have you been? What have you been up to? What are you doing nowadays? Blah, blah, blah. I haven't seen you in forever. Oh, I'm good. Just working hard and trying to get real estate going and blah, blah, blah. The topic comes up. What you do, what you're doing, it's going to end up coming up regardless. So don't make conversations all about real estate, because then people are going to go, oh, they're just trying to get a deal. They're just trying to figure this out. They just want to whatever, right? They're just marketing themselves. But if you call someone and say, hey, I haven't talked to anybody, I'm just here bored at home, haven't been able to do anything, and I thought I'd give you a call. We haven't talked in a while, and I just wanted to see how you were doing, right? And then from there, oh, I'm doing good. I've just been working here, blah, blah, blah. And then it continues, and then you start talking about real estate. And, oh, I didn't know you were doing that. And, oh, so-and-so is looking to buy a house. It just kind of goes from there. And even if it doesn't arise, that conversation can spark up later again. Always keep your relationships a priority. If you haven't talked to somebody you used to talk to a lot, give them a call, and keep it rotating. Have lunch with somebody at least once a month or once every other month, just to keep that relationship. it sucks that we get so busy in our own time and places that we don't talk to anybody, we don't reach out to anybody anymore, and then unfortunately that our business suffers because nobody knows what we do anymore. And oh, I don't want to call so and so or Leslie or Sherry because oh, I haven't talked to her in 3 months, and I don't want to just call her because I want to sell my home or something. Keep that relationship going, and make it easy for them to call you back or to call you at any point in time. Just being a good resource for anybody that needs anything. I need a roofer, I need a drywall guy, I need, an electrician. Do you know that person? And hey, if you don't know them, I know somebody. So hey, yeah, I know somebody, and then call me. And then Alan, I need somebody for this. Okay, here it is. And then for everything else, they're gonna call you. Hey Leslie, I know you work in real estate, so do you know a person or that person? And it's just going to keep trickling down. So call your people, call everybody, just have a conversation with them. Don't make it about real estate necessarily, but just be a person and be that go-to resource, and just keep it lively. Don't make it too salesy. That's the next one. Another one is and it's not my favorite, but I know a lot of people do it. Is calling expired listings. It's not the best way, but a lot of the times, especially right now, with sellers going so fast, now's the time to be like, hey, well, this market has changed dramatically. If you can give me maybe a 2-month listing, a 3-month list, something really short, right? We know that houses are going on market in days. So if we can try and say, hey, I know you had a bad experience with your last realtor. I'd love to show you how we're different. And I would love to prove that to even a 1 month or just a 2-month listing. If I can't get it sold for you in that time, then, we try it at
No
least.
harm, no foul.
No harm, no foul. Give me a month. Give me 2 months, right? And more than sure enough, they'll go, you know what? All right, fine. Let's do it. And no harm, no foul. And turns out, majority of the time, they're going to want to keep it listed for more than that month or 2 months because they've already gone through the work. They've gone through the hassle. And if you can just keep pushing them forward, they'll last longer. But hopefully with the goal is right now with this market that we won't have to go more than a few weeks until we pick up an offer and then get it towards closing. So call expired listings. They work. They're not always the funnest because you are having to take that sour taste out of somebody else's mouth that they've already had with another agent. But if you can provide a much better service, they're going to be much happier. And then again, they're going to refer you out and give you more business. And then call for sale by owners. Again, not the best one, but it does work. Go on Zillow, Trulia, all those public websites that have those for sale by owners. Get their number, give them a call, say, hey, I have a buyer. Can I set up a showing? Typically, the for sale by owners will be there at the listing. Take a friend with you, right? Just pretend, and then a buyer, and then get talking with that seller. This buyer, he really didn't like the house, but I love your home. I'd love to see how I could help you market it, and whether it be a flat rate, give me $2,000 and I'll sell it for you. I bet you I can probably get maybe 10% or 15% more than what you're asking for now, because typically they don't know what their house is worth. Either they're way too high or way too low. And so if you can give them that right spot, if they're too low, say, I'll make you enough money so that if you pay me, you're still gonna net the same amount of money, right? You're still gonna get that same if I list it for you, and I can get it to a lot more people. Or take a flat rate listing, or again a short-term listing. Hey, give me 2 months. Give me 2 months of your time. I'll do it for X amount of money, and then with that, build your lead gen. Stick your sign in the front yard, and then pick up those phone calls and take those phone calls and bring in those leads that you get. You're not necessarily trying to make a whole lot of money off of the sale of the for sale by owner, but getting your name and your number in front of that house will get you phone calls.
Yeah.
So take that in mind as well. Also, your neighborhood. Your neighborhood is probably one of the best ways of attaining business. And if you don't go out on evening or morning walks or walk your dog, I would highly advise it.
Yeah.
Go take your dogs out, go for a walk, go with your family, and just walk around the neighborhood and find out who you meet. Just say, hey, how are y'all? Just, introduce yourselves. We live in the neighborhood. This is what I do. Blah, blah, blah. Getting to know your neighbors is very important, because the worst thing is when you're driving home and you see somebody else's for sale sign in your own neighborhood. and you go, man, that should have been mine. How come I don't know that person? Or why didn't they, why don't I farm my own neighborhood? I would love to see more of my own signs in my neighborhood, right? So let's go ahead and do that. Meet your neighbors, go out on walks. Once this whole pandemic thing kind of goes away, send out invitations to everybody in your neighborhood. Have a little barbecue, a block party or a summer party, or some sort of just get together by inviting your neighbors. Everybody get to know each other. I want to start a community neighborhood something, right? And just send out some flyers to everybody. Put it on the neighborhood mailbox. Party here at this time. Blah blah blah. Really get to know your neighbors. It's first and foremost, and those people obviously have friends and family who need to buy or sell real estate as well. So letting people know what you do, and then as well as sending postcards to your neighborhood, right? So another part of farming your neighborhood means sending mailers and sending postcards at least maybe once or twice a month to just your neighborhood. Don't go crazy and do like all of San Antonio and you're sending 3,000, 4,000 postcards every month. You can do that, but it's going to get very expensive.
Yeah.
So what you can do is pick a section of your neighborhood if you live in a huge neighborhood, or just maybe like a top 5 blocks up and down your street, right? And then just target those. Maybe it'll be about 100 to 200 houses, and they're not too expensive. We actually met with Sophia Wilson with Chicago Title, Capital Title. I always do that. Capital Title. And they have a platform called REI that allows you to pretty much find out all the home addresses of everybody in your neighborhood. It also has the equity levels, and it also has a bunch of other information on that owner. So instead of sending postcards and sending mailers to homes that have just been sold or don't have any equity, you can save that money and redirect that into properties that have equity, right? They've been in the house for 5 to 10 years, so they're ready to sell, or they have enough money so that they can sell and then go buy somewhere else, right? So it's a pretty cool tool. I'm going to be using it this next week or so I can kind of get familiar with it. And then once we can figure out how to get all that stuff ready and utilized for you guys, we'll have another webinar, or we'll hold an actual little training video on how to set that up, how to use it, and how to target your neighborhood.
Or any neighborhood.
Or
in
in any
It doesn't
neighborhood.
have to be just yours. It's all over San Antonio.
Correct. And that's the best thing, right? So when farming neighborhoods, you want to find a neighborhood that has high turnover, right? People that are moving within 3 to 5 years, people that pretty much, yeah, just high turnover in those neighborhoods. You don't want to go to those old school neighborhoods that everybody just dies
Like
in that
Chavano.
neighborhood, like Chavano Park or Castle Hills or
Mm.
Olmos Park. People stay there their entire lives. They don't move because they love that area, whereas if you go to more west side or even other parts of San Antonio east side, like they're a little bit more faster paced and they buy and sell pretty quickly. They're not there hunkered down for years on end. And that's how we want to kind of structure those. But obviously, first and foremost, your neighborhood. If you can do your own neighborhood and have your own signs there, everybody is going to know you, and everybody's going to start using you in your neighborhood, which is awesome. And you don't have to go that far if you have a listing appointment, right? You just go next door, or you go down the street. It makes you and your core business just that much easier to run when the houses are right next to you. Anybody have any questions so far? No? Okay. And then another one is I know everybody is going to get or has gotten or is going to get their first yard sign, right? So if you don't have a listing right now, you have a listing already and it's your own house. Put your for sale sign, put your yard sign in front of your house, right? Get some calls. People are going to call you, hey, are you selling your house? No, I'm not really selling my house. I'm a realtor, blah, blah, blah. How can I help you? Are you looking, right? They're going to, if people are going to want to call that sign on the house. And if you want to kind of be a little bit more, I guess, not aggressive, but aggressive and kind of, I know there's the whole SABOR rules that if you have a front yard sign and it says for sale, you have to put it on MLS. So put your house on MLS, right? But put it for like $50,000 above asking price, right? If somebody's going to give you an offer, hey, maybe we'll take it, right? For an extra $50,000, maybe we'll take the sale. But if not, I mean, nobody says I have to sell my house. I mean, it's my opportunity. It's my choice to sell my house, but I'm going to market it. And if somebody wants to pay me double what I'm asking for it, then, or double what it's worth, and maybe I'll accept it, but I don't necessarily have to, right? So keep a sign in your front yard. Get those phone calls coming in, because guaranteed your neighbors are going to be calling. Oh man, I have a cousin that wants to move into my neighborhood, or I have my brother wants to move into the neighborhood. Family always wants to move closer to family, right? Especially here in San Antonio, we have a lot of Hispanics. We have a lot of just cultured people that like to be with family. I mean, my brother's my neighbor, and my mom lives 2 doors up, so I'm one of them, right?
Yeah.
I like being next to my family, and a lot of other people do too. So if you can have your yard sign in your front yard, you'll be getting a lot of more phone calls, and that's just a pretty decent way, a pretty easy way, especially during this pandemic, right? Just pop it in there and probably receive some phone calls. So if you don't have your signs, or if you need your signs ordered, please let us know. And we'll get those out to you. So please reach out to us via email, text, or call, and we'll get those for y'all. Let's see. Another thing is business cards. So I know for a lot of y'all that have already sent in your headshots, we did get the go-ahead from Norton Lewis that they are ready. So I believe if we took your headshot within the last couple weeks, your card should be ready by now. So let us know when you can come pick those up, or if we need to take them to you, we can also do that. So secondly, those cards, once you get your business cards on Amazon, there are a pack of 200 peelable card size magnetic strips that you can stick those cards on, because we have only front facing, the back is kind of empty. So you can literally stick those onto the magnetic strip, and then now you have refrigerator magnets for your business card. So those are always fun thing to have. I started doing that as well. I have probably 20 on my fridge right now.
Our own fridge.
So I just see my face every day. But when people come over, or when people ask for my business card, hey, here's a magnetic one, put it on your fridge. And then when people go to their house, they go, oh, who's this person? You know, oh, I know, I'm looking to sell my house, right? Now you have your card in their house, stuck on the fridge, holding up a graduation photo, or holding up some sort of invitation, right? Because that's what we do. We have a whole bunch of invitations on the fridge, and we just pop them on there. And nobody ever tends to throw away a magnet, right? People like magnets.
Yeah.
They want to put it because they're going to hold a photo somewhere. So it's a pretty good idea. They're $20 for 200 pack, or 100 pack for $14 on Amazon.
I'll send the link.
Yeah, we can send a link to you guys. So those are pretty cool. And then the last thing that I have on my list for this morning, and it's the most crucial, and we've kind of touched base on every single point that relays back to it, and it's just relationships, guys. Calling, seeing people, especially I know right now it's hard, but just calling people at least once a week, or every other week, or once a month, just touching base with your friends and your family that you don't always talk to, but it really does play a benefit. I mean, a 5-10 minute conversation, just how are you, how are things, a catch up, a quick dinner, or a quick lunch, just to touch base, right? You don't necessarily have to be their best friend again, or be anything. Just talk to each other. I mean, I probably have lunch with probably 10 people at least once a month throughout any given month that I don't regularly see or talk to, but they're good relationships to have. They're good people, and you know, we kind of just make it a thing, right? Hey, once a month we'll have dinner, and then out of nowhere I'll get a call. Hey, we haven't had dinner in a while. Let's go. I'm like, okay, cool. You know, and then we talk, and we talk about a little bit of business, if that, and then after that, it's just how are you, and then that's it, right? So just keep those relationships intact, because without relationships, you get no referrals, and referral business is everything in this business, right? You can pay and pay and pay and pay for leads, or you can just put all that money into relationships and grow your friends and make friends, and then those friends become friends, and then sure enough, you have so many people out there looking business for you, right? I mean, and not to boast, but I haven't paid for real estate leads ever, right? I mean, even Anna tells me, you have way too many friends. And I go, yeah, I have a lot of friends, but somehow they always send me deals. They always know what I do. They know where I'm at. And so, yeah, I have a lot of friends, and we have so many weddings to go to.
They end up just working for you. I mean,
yeah, they work for you. Your friends work for you. If you care for them and you love them, and
be a genuine person.
Be a genuine person, and you're not just salesy.
Yeah.
Just be your friend, and they're gonna work for you. That's
because pretty much everyone knows someone who's looking to buy or sell. Like that's just how it is.
Yeah. And then And did you have a quick excerpt from that book? Okay. Okay. Well, then that was kind of the last one. Relationships is key, and that's why I saved it for the last bit, because without relationships, you're dead in the water, right? Regardless if you pay for all these listings, if you can't service them and you can't be a friendly person and you can't just guide them in the right direction, nobody's gonna want to work with you. So maintain those relationships.
Does anyone have anything to add or any questions?
No, not right now.
No?
Okie dokie. Well, I hope this was informative for you guys, and I hope y'all took some. If y'all have any other questions or concerns, you have our number, our email, and that's it. Our phone and our email. So let us know if y'all need anything, and we will check in with you guys a little bit later this week.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Oh, Leslie, did you have a question for me?
Oh, I have a question, but I can just call you.
Okay.
Okay.
Good.
All right.
Okay. Thank you.
Bye, y'all.
Bye.